Internet, Eric here. Well, it's been a while since I've done a video where I'm going to dive headfirst for the first time into the Phantasm series. So I'm going to cut right to the chase. Let's get it done. Let's talk about Phantasm III, Lord of the Dead. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, all that crap. If you're like me, one of the few people that haven't seen the Phantasm films, Jesus. Basic plot of Phantasm 3 is just like how Part 2 started right at the end of Part 1, Part 3 starts right at the end of Part 2. Mike and Reggie have been separated. Mike and the blonde chick are still in the back of the hearse, being driven away by the female villain. You know, she pulled her scalp off. She attacked Reggie, threw him to the side. That crashes. Reggie goes, saves Mike. The blonde girl, who was a character in Part 2, she's dead. She's decapitated. Reggie has to save Mike from the dinks, as I call them, you know, the little Jawa creatures, and the tall man. He does in a really cool scene, and eventually Mike is in a coma for 2 years, and in his coma, he's visited by a vision of his older brother, Jody. Eventually he wakes up, and he is taken away by the tall man. The movie is now Reggie is trying to rescue Mike while being helped by Jody, who is now showing up in visions, in dreams, and also in the form of a they're now called sentinels, the little balls. This one is black, and it's following him around. He meets up with a little boy named Mike. No, not Mike. A little boy named Tim, and a chick named Rocky, and then they try to save the day. Okay, this one, it's hard to follow up Part 2. If you've seen my video on that one, I thought Part 2 was great. This one's pretty good as well. Lots of reasons. Reggie Bannister as Reggie. He is slowly making Reggie one of my favorite horror characters ever. He's fun, great lines, kicks a lot of ass, likable. He's got great chemistry with everybody. Love this character. I love when he has to, in the very beginning, when he's... It's funny because Don Coscarelli, you can tell he definitely likes his comedy. He kind of reminds me of Joe Dante in a little bit. Like when the very beginning, Reggie has to, like I said, he has to save Mike, and he has to save the blonde chick, fails in that. But Mike is thrown from the hearse, and then the dinks, which you find out are now called lurkers. I'm going to always call them the dinks because it's funny. They're hiding in the trees in this little area in the woods where he has taken Mike. And he's literally got his gun, and he's shooting up in the air. And he shoots like once, and then like a dink falls. Another dink falls, and another dink falls. It reminded me of the fucking Three Stooges. You know, when they're in the army and they get kicked in the butt, and they shoot up there, and here comes a duck. That kind of stuff. Reggie's great. Tall man, Angus Scrimm. He's talking more, scary, intimidating. He's great. Same actor now who was Mike in the first one has returned. He's okay. All honest opinion, he's not in the movie that much. If you ask me, he's just kind of there. I think they made more of a big deal that they got the original actor back than giving him something to do. He does more at the end because of what happens to him after, again, a rescue mission, you know, for him. There's this girl named Rocky. She's just there to kick butt, swing nunchucks, give Reggie a serious case of blue balls because Reggie just can't get laid to save his life. She's got some comedy too because like they're in a motel, they got to share a bed. She's like, don't try anything funny. And then he keeps, egging her on. She's like, okay, then we're going to do this my way. She pulls out some handcuffs. She handcuffs him to the bedpost, says goodnight, rolls over. She's a lot of fun. She adds a lot to the group because it's just Reggie at the moment and little Timmy. Timmy is this 10-year-old, and his family has been killed by the dinks, by the tall man, and he is living all by himself in this house, and he knows how to shoot guns. He taught him how to shoot and throw knives and this and that. And he is not an annoying little twerp. He's likable. He's fine. It's hard to believe he's such a crack shot, but he's a welcome member of this group of Reggie, of Rocky, the trio, I guess you would say. And then Jody. Jody is weird. I was very disappointed that Jody was killed. You find out Jody was killed at the end of the first movie. And then they bring him back as one of the Sentinels, the Balls. And I think it's just another added mindfuck to this series, which doesn't pan out too much. He's just like, hey, go here, hey, you can do it, that type of thing. The wise sage, I guess you would think. But that's it. Now there's some additions again to this, fever dream as Knight from Night Watch pretty much, explained the first movie to me, because now the Sentinels, the Balls, the tall man now uses them to see what's going on, complete with a little telescope that pops out with an eyeball, and it can observe what's going on. It reminded me of that little fucker from Big Trouble in Little China that's covered in the eyes, and he's got the eye on the tongue and stuff like that. That's what it reminded me, because it was hokey, it was cheesy. I laughed every time I saw it. What I like also, more lore, we get to see what's inside the Balls. The Sentinels, they are actual brains. The people that are shrunk into the dinks. We see a surgery happen. The tall man is taking the brain out, puts it in the Sentinels type of thing. The gore in this is pretty good overall. We do get, the stereotypical Sentinel to a person's face. The blood shoots out of the back end, I guess you would say. We get some throat slits. We get a lot of fun stuff. We get Mike wakes up from his coma, and he's attacked by a nurse who has a sentinel in her head. So tall man's taking care of her. She gets killed, and then we get to see the sentinel pretty much pop out of her skull and fly away. Really cool effect. Most of the gore, though, and I like it, is eventually Reggie is kidnapped by this group of 3 scavengers, I guess you would say. Older dude, young guy, and then hot chick. And they kidnap him, put him in the trunk, and eventually, when they go to Timmy's house, Timmy kills them. You get a neck slit. I think the guy's neck is slit. The girl, she gets a knife in the head. I don't remember what happens to the older dude. But what's neat is another fucking fever dream twist is now, for some reason, now I don't think that you ever see them affected by the Sentinels, affected by the tall man, but now they're zombies. They come back as zombies on 2 different occasions, at least. There's one where everyone's in their hearse, and then they're chasing our heroes in a pink hearse. Again, another really good car chase scene. The one chick, the hot chick, I guess, now she's zombified. She tries to jump over to their hearse. She falls under the tires and is run over. And then, boom, the pink hearse does a fucking huge stunt, flies through the air, flips. Great. And eventually they come back again by the end of the movie, and they're all killed in different ways. That was a lot of fun. I didn't expect it, and I figured part 3 of Phantasm, why the fuck not add zombies? The way the tall man is defeated is kind of lame, in my opinion, only because of how he was defeated in such graphic fashion in part 2. It was a major step down, but it's okay. I did like how the movie started, how you found out after, the tall man, he was basically melted and the eyeballs blew up. Then in part 2, there's just multiple tall men. That's it. When one dies, another comes out of the fucking red zone or whatever it's called. He literally picks up the dead tall man, throws him in there. Whatever. There's still some weird stuff. They're in the desert in one episode, in one part of the show, and this little multi-legged creature attacks them just because. I think it was a callback to the weird fucking bat bird creature, whatever the hell it was in part 1. And again, I don't want to spoil what happens to Mike, because if you haven't seen it, that was an interesting twist. Obviously, when I get to part 4, I have to spoil it, but I will not say what happens to him at the end of part 3. And again, like part 1 and part 2, part 3 ends on a fucking cliffhanger. You don't know what's going on with Reggie. You don't know what's going on with little Timmy. You don't know what's going on with Jody. You don't know what's going on with Mike. Rocky seems like she's the only one that gets out alive. Well, I don't want to say gets out alive. No one dies of this major group at the end of part 3, but she's the only one that seems to get away safely We'll say that. So once again, pulls you. I thought I was done with it. Pulls me back in, or whatever that line is. Phantasm 3 ends with a fucking cliffhanger. I highly recommend this one. Highly recommend. Do I like it as much as part 2? No, but it's neck and neck. I highly recommend Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead. Again, Reggie is great. Rocky is fun. Little Timmy is cool. Jody is just there. Mike is just there. Angus Scrimm is the tall one. He's just there to be scary. The Dinks are cool. I love the zombie trio. They were fun. Good gore. Great car chase. Lots of fun. So Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead. I was gonna say Lord of War. I'm fucking stupid. Lord of the Dead. Highly recommend it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, all that crap. You're watching this. Please join us this Saturday as of this recording. Two Bearded Losers is going to be back, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. We are discussing Stephen King's Cocaine Classic, Maximum Overdrive. Hope to see you there. Got other stuff planned. That's it. The ending of these videos are always stupid. Comment below, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell me what you think. Is Phantasm 4 going to be an even bigger fever dream? I hope so. Cheers.